I'm Mr. James from Charm City Karate. This is Kenpo On Dummies for Purple Belt. We're going to go over parries. For this level, I've actually decided to include one parry from Blue Belt because our Blue Belt curriculum only has one parry. Seemed like a bust to do a video on one parry when I get to Blue Belt. So, if you remember when we did parries, I think it was for Orange Belt, a parry is a low impact way to deflect a blow as opposed to blocking, which is a high impact way to deflect a blow. So the two parries for this level are downward parries. If you remember the high parries that you did for Orange Belt, they worked from your shoulders. Okay? The parries for this level are going to work from your hips. They're meant to deflect kicks. You have an inward and an outward just like you did for the parries for your punches. Same idea. You still have a triangle working from your hips to the kick. Your inward is going to work the same way. Comes from your hip to the kick, and then it's going to parry that kick outside your hip. Alright, so kick, outside, kick, outside. Alright, just like that. Make sure that you keep your fingers out of the way. When you're dealing with punches, it's not as big of a deal. Legs are big, they're heavy, they come at kind of a weird angle for fingers, and fingers are, they're squashy. I've seen a lot of guys get fingers broken because they got careless with kicks. When you are parrying kicks, think of your hands like you're doing palm strikes. Don't think like you're slap parrying. Use your palms. Okay? If you've ever fed a horse, you don't cup stuff because they'll bite your fingers by accident, all right? You put your fingers back out of the way, you keep your thumb clear, and you leave the stuff in the palm of your hand. So when you're dealing with kicks, you want the same thing. You want your fingers turned back, you want your thumb clear, all right? You want to use your palm and the heel of your palm to deal with those kicks. Don't get lazy and let your fingers curl because you get kicked in one and it'll break. It's bad. Tournaments, they'll stop it, maybe let you recover. Real fight, they'll stomp you. Bad. All right? So, bring this out, curl the fingers back out of the way. Parry, parry. Then your outward parry is going to start from the tip of that triangle and come back to the hip. Okay? Feels kind of like rowing to me. Make sense? Or maybe Steve Austin in one of those $6 Million Man shows. I don't know. This one's a little different though. You don't want to curl your hand this way. You want to think of it like chopping almost. Alright, so blade of the hand into the kick. Then when you put them together, because just like your high parries, your low parries are going to work together in pairs. Okay, so inward, outward, inward, outward, inward, outward, inward, outward. See, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you're in your fighting stance, the kick comes, you do 1, 2. And then you got your front hand to deal with something again. 1, 2, bang. Okay? So you want to practice that slow with a partner at first, and then get used to doing something cool with that front hand after. Okay? Makes sense? That's your inward and outward parry. Now, the one from Blue Belt's called an overhead parry. Overhead parries you're still going to do in pairs, but there's no inward-outward really. It's just overhead. So what happens, again, it's like a palm, and it goes up and over. Looks kind of like a dance to me, I don't know. Just goes over this way, like you're passing something over your head. Well, because you are really. All right, so you're going to catch whatever it is on your hand and move it over and move it over. Just like that. Okay? Over your head. This would be a good time in between them to throw a palm strike into the guy, parry it up. Second one comes in, you can throw a palm strike, palm strike, palm strike. He won't like that at all, but we don't really care what he likes. All right? There you go. Pretty basic. So, I'm Mr. James from Charm City Karate. This is Kenpo On Dummies for Purple Belt. Parries. Practice. Have a great day.